Litter and Its Effects on Wildlife by Trey Miller. Litter kills animals, smothers plants, and ruins animals' habitats. Over the past couple of years, over 1.75 million animals have been killed due to litter, 1 million being birds and 100,000 being marine animals. This is what happens because of littering. We are ruining our wildlife and water quality through inconsiderate littering. So as a concerned citizen, I'm going to create an organized cleanup crew which cleans up garbage along safe streets located within the Quad Cities. Our job will be to clean up non-degradable plastics and other litter things along the streets. This is the logo we will be using. There are 3 different types of litters which affect the earth in their own cruel ways. Cigarettes, plastics, and chemicals are those litters. First is the cigarette butt. Over the past year, over 4.5 million cigarette butts have been littered.
Cigarette butts that are not properly unlighted can cause wildfires, but cigarette butts should never be thrown out into the wild anyway, so these wildfires caused by cigarettes should never happen.
Next are water polluting litters. Degradable litter that is not supposed to be degraded seeps into the ground, ruining water supplies. This includes chemicals that are not properly recycled in batteries. The last problem contains plastic and paper objects, usually from fast food joints, which kill animals. The plastics have made it so animals cannot open their mouths large enough to bite. Others have made it so animals have to walk around lugging large, bulky objects. After a week of contacting experts, I've collected stories and hard facts about stories involving litter near Bendorf. In that week, I contacted 3 experts: a fire chief to ask about cigarette butts, a botanist to find information about effects on plants, and a representative from the WOTC to find information about animals and their impact with litter. From the fire chief, I mainly asked about cigarette-ignited fires. The information I received was devastating. Quote from the email between me and Tim Staub: "Yes, cigarette fires are an issue in Bendorf. We have fires as small as mulch or bush catching fire. We also have major structure fires caused by cigarettes being discarded in an unsafe manner." Quoted from the same email, approximately 12 fires a year are started by cigarettes in Bendorf alone. Also, fire investigators are able to determine if the fire was started by a cigarette. This information means that there are about 1 fire ignited by a cigarette butt each month, and this is a fact that is at 100%, as experts can determine the cause. The next expert I contacted was a botanist from Des Moines. He stated litter also includes materials that are accidentally littered, such as when trash blows from garbage cans during collection day. So you could be littering without knowing it. To avoid this, recycling is suggested. This will lessen your garbage can's amount of trash and avoid your potential for littering. The next thing he told me was a story about an experience he had with a plant impacted by litter. The worst case scenario I have ever seen in relation to plants is when chemicals were poured down a storm drain and flowed down into a nearby stream. The chemicals were unknown, but ended up killing off all plants along the stream side and fish within the area. This is what can happen because of littering. He also stated that animals and plants that are territorial and do not move much are susceptible to death by litter, as they do not leave the littered habitats. The last person I talked to was a member of part of the WOPSI Center. In his response, I asked him what was the worst impact he had seen with bald eagles. During the lifespan of most birds, especially those of prey, he said that in the local Quad Cities, bald eagles eat this litter and occasionally they will consume lead. With consumption of litter, they expose themselves to lead poisoning and other sicknesses, which result in the beautiful birds falling to the ground and dying. Now, how do we stop this? Well, I've concocted a plan which will create a weekly club which will clean up litter along streets, parks, and other litter spaces. The club will target low traffic areas with high amounts of litter, such as Crow Creek Park, Tanglefoot, and any other places that fit the description I have laid out. Also, later on, we can collaborate with an art club, and using that litter, we can create some beautiful art pieces. My final goal is to take something as disgusting and worthless as litter and take it off the streets, turning it into something beautiful using art. So it'll keep us safe and bring happiness to all. However, the only way I can do this is if I receive help from us students. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, that's the worst idea I've ever heard. Why the heck would I want to do that? Well, to answer that question, Billy, I'm going to look towards our future, which most Bendorf students are going to have. When you get to moments in your life when you need to write down a volunteer job you have done for a resume or application, what are you going to write down? Most students at our level have not actually done any volunteer work that directly impacts Bendorf, so why not get it done now? So if you're interested, please sign your name on the clipboard as you leave the class. So far, I've cataloged the litter I've collected on my walks in Bendorf, and I have gone on a group cleanup trip with my family. The pictures show our experience. And as always, have a fantastic day.